think we can all agree Liverpool are out of the title race. And this season, it looked like Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool were all in it. But in the last 2 weeks or in the last 1 week, Liverpool are out of the title race. And now we all know it's between Arsenal and Man City. Last season, Liverpool had some setbacks. The midfield wasn't good enough. Van Dijk was just returning from a major injury. He was still trying to adapt, so they didn't make it into the Champions League. They got into Europa, and also Nunes was missing chances. Like Nunes was his conversion rate last season was very bad also. But this season, no one expected Liverpool to actually be in top four. I think there were some football fans that believe Liverpool were not even going to finish top four. I predicted them to finish second because I believe once you've done it in the past as a manager, a manager that is very experienced like Klopp, you just need to make little changes and you'll be back to your base. Yes, they didn't. Yes, they are not going to win the league, but I don't think I don't think they were that bad not to be in top four like this. Like to be in top four, or second or third, this season. So why do I think Liverpool lost out on this title race? Now, for me, it came down to just two factors: the forwards and the midfield. I think the defense line is still good. The defense line is still good. Now, talking about the forward. Mo Salah, to me, I don't think there's Mo Salah. Yes, he's not the Mo Salah of 2, 3 seasons ago, but so far Mo Salah has been okay. Like this same Mo Salah, if this same Mo Salah was in let's say if this same Mo Salah was in a Man City team on the right hand side or an Arsenal team on that right hand side, he will still score goals for you. Like he will definitely. Mo Salah he has had injuries. I think during that AFCON period, he had injuries, but Mo Salah will still. Yes, he might not do it the way he was doing it 2 or 3 seasons ago, but at least you are guaranteed more than 10 Premier League goals, which is good. Honestly, double figures. You're guaranteed more than that from a right winger who is someone that is not a striker. So Mo Salah to me has not been one of the problems there. For me, I feel it has been more of Diaz and Nunes. Diaz has not been very good. He has not been very good for Liverpool. He has not hit that Mane's standard. Mane was different. Mane was really, really, really different. So that's one problem. Nunes also. Nunes conversion rate at the beginning of the season, earlier on, Nunes was scoring goals, and it looked like, oh, Nunes is much better as compared to last season. Good footballer, he knows when to run into space, but his conversion rate is still not good enough. And sometimes when people make the comparison between him and Haaland, I'm like, the primary duty of a striker is to put the ball behind the net. Every other thing is secondary. Hold up play, dribbling, those are secondary. The primary duty of a striker, the number one thing of a striker, his main job is to put the ball behind the net. How he puts the ball behind the net, it doesn't matter. If he uses his leg, his hand, it doesn't matter. Every other thing you want him to do are just secondary. And that is the difference. Nunes has so many chances this season that Liverpool would have still been up there, but he failed to convert them. Atlanta, he missed a chance. I think against West Ham and Crystal Palace, he had chances there. He missed them as well. So that's another place where I felt affected Liverpool in this title race. Diaz and Nunes not actually playing very well. It's just sad that Jota, who I think Jota is a better finisher than both of them, and maybe if Jota was fit, maybe the point gap would have been much. There would have been that glimpse of hope there. Maybe they will still be that 1 point behind if Jota was fit, because Jota is the much better finisher. But Nunes and Diaz have not really hit that. They've not been good. Honestly, they've really, really not been good. I feel that's one side that has affected Liverpool in this title race. Not Klopp is not a good manager, or not because he made the announcement too early. I don't think that's a problem that affected Liverpool. Another issue I feel affected them again was the midfield. When you look at this Liverpool's midfield, at the beginning of the season they brought in Gravenberch, Sabosly, and also they brought in McAllister, and you can say, and they brought in Endo as well. And you can say of all those guys, McAllister has been the only one that has been the standout player. McAllister has done well so far this season. Sometimes he plays that DM role, and I think it was at the beginning of the season he was playing that DM role. Klopp was rotating it, and sometimes he plays the number 8 role. But McAllister has been that standout player, very good player, someone I would have loved to have in Man City. Honestly, if there's one player I would have wished we got to replace Gundogan, I will take him. Honestly, I'll really take McAllister, a very, very good player. But McAllister has just been the only one that's been the standard. The other guys have not been good enough. Maybe they need time. Maybe Sabloside needs time to adapt to the league, because some players come in, they hit the ground running, and some actually need time to adapt to the league. But when you compare that Liverpool's midfield to Arsenal and Man City, it's not as good as both of them. Like, look at the Arsenal's midfield. They have Partey, Odegaard, Declan Rice. The way those guys are playing is just different. As for Man City, we have Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne. Like, our midfield and Arsenal's midfield, when you compare to Liverpool, the difference is just very, very clear. Like, Liverpool's midfield is really, really not up there. But it can be improved. I guess maybe that'll be something. No, they've gotten a new manager, and once the guy comes in, I'm sure he will improve on that. But I feel Liverpool lost out on this title race. Just the fact that the forward, Diaz and Nunes, were not good enough. They didn't convert their chances, and also the midfield. Honestly, I feel those were the two areas that really affected them. The defense line, I don't think the defense line was. His defense line is bad. I really don't think the defense line is bad. Honestly, I really don't think that defense line is bad. Van Dijk has been good. Van Dijk is not washed or anything. Van Dijk has been good. Maybe the fact that the rotation has been affecting him in regards to sometimes Kwansha will be the one to play, or Konate, and I don't know why Klopp stopped it, because at one point in the season Klopp was playing Konate and Van Dijk and it was working well, but that midfield and the front line, those two forward are areas I feel affected them. Then maybe you can say injuries. We can add in injuries there, because they lost at one point in the season. They lost Alisson, they lost Trent, they lost Robertson. Who again did they lose? Curtis Jones as well, Jota. So Mo Salah also was missing at one point in the season. So you can say injuries, the midfield, and the forward line. But then again, other teams too have injuries, and Klopp was still able to try. I think at that point where they had injuries, he was able to manage the situation. Honestly, he was still able to manage the situation, because they were scoring goals. They were like keeping the gap. They were still keeping that gap there. They were scoring goals, but that midfield and the forward line are the two major areas I feel affected Liverpool in this title race. Arsenal don't have a clinical striker, but in Arsenal, goals are coming from Odegaard, goals are coming from Saka, goals are coming from Trossard, goals are coming from Kai Havertz. In Liverpool, where is the goal coming from? Honestly, where is the goal coming from? You can't mention 4 players are scoring different goals. In Man City, goals are coming from Erling Haaland, goals are coming from Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, Kevin De Bruyne. It's not the same for Liverpool. And honestly, when it was like 10 games to go, I actually said Liverpool were going to win this title. Honestly, because on paper, they had the easiest fixture. I just felt teams were going to sit deep and they will break them down. Their problem wasn't creating chances. I just felt teams will sit deep and they will break them down and they will score the goals. But because on paper, they had the easiest fixtures compared to, followed by Man City. Then Arsenal had the hardest fixtures. But then again, we all know in the Premier League, no game is easy. Actually, no game is easy in the Premier League. And they lost to Crystal Palace, they drew against West Ham, and And that was it. But let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, why you feel Liverpool lost out on this title race. Some people, they will say they're coming up against a Man City team that have done it in the past over and over, and also an Arsenal team that is trying to, that is just trying to do it as well. But for me, I feel the team, especially the midfield and the forward, actually let them down this season. That's it for me, guys. Let me know in the comment section, like I said, what you think, or what's the reason why you feel Liverpool lost out on the title race. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you very much.